The sun dipped below the horizon, casting an eerie, almost ethereal glow upon the dense woods. In the company of my dearest friends, Meg, Osmond, Alexa, and Osmond's loyal companion, Toby, we huddled around a campfire. The flames danced with exuberance, casting long, flickering shadows that seemed to defy the laws of nature. Laughter filled the night as we savored the simple joys of roasting marshmallows and sharing humorous anecdotes. Yet beneath this veneer of normality, an unsettling unease clung to the air. As darkness gradually encircled our camp, an otherworldly, spine-tingling howl pierced the tranquility of the night. It sent shivers down our spines, but it wasn't the call of a wolf, as we initially assumed. It was Toby, our beloved canine companion, was howling and crying, his eyes wide with a terror we had never witnessed before. Even Osmond, the embodiment of stoicism, paled at the sight. "Something's wrong," he whispered. His unease was justified. Toby had never cowered in fear. As the night deepened, we eventually retreated to our tents. Well past midnight, I heard a faint, distant howl, echoing the earlier one. Sensing that something was amiss, I emerged from my tent to find my friends gathered outside their own, their faces etched with worry. Just as I was about to inquire about the eerie noise, Osmond, his expression laced with concern, informed us that Toby was nowhere to be found in his tent. A growing sense of trepidation enveloped us as we scoured the camp, calling out Toby's name. It was then that we heard it again, the haunting, mournful howl, louder and more disconcerting than before. In an instant, panic gripped our group. We instinctively turned toward the source of the noise, confirming that it was indeed Toby. Shadows converged at the periphery of the firelight, as though the forest itself harbored a sinister secret. After a few moments of heated discussion, Alexa, the bravest among us, declared, "We have to find Toby. We can't just stay here." With a sense of urgency, Meg, the voice of reason, tried to maintain a veneer of reassurance. "Stay calm, everyone. We'll split into two groups and try to find him." Despite our attempts to rationalize the situation, an eerie sense of foreboding weighed heavy in the air. Every rustling leaf, every distant sound, and every whisper of the wind carried an ominous message from the forest. Nevertheless, our determination to find Toby fueled our actions, driven by the hope that he was merely lost and frightened. As our two groups ventured deeper into the dark forest, the atmosphere grew increasingly oppressive. An ominous mist rolled in, enshrouding us in a bone-chilling fog that obscured our surroundings. My group, consisting of Meg and me, stood watch at the edge of the forest, near the campsite, while Osmond and Alexa ventured deeper into the woods in search of Toby. Time blurred into a nightmarish collage of fear. We called out for Toby, our flashlights piercing the inky blackness. Shadows danced at the edge of our vision, eluding our attempts to confront them. The forest thickened, its gnarled branches resembling skeletal fingers reaching out into the night. I could barely see beyond the pale beam of my flashlight, and an eerie sensation of being watched settled over me. After some time, we realized that we had not heard from Osmond and Alexa in a while. Fear gnawed at our hearts, and we decided to make our way deeper into the woods, hoping to reunite with them. Eventually, the forest became eerily silent, to the point where I could hear the beating of my own heart. It was an unsettling feeling, akin to the sensation of being watched, as though unseen eyes observed our every move. I whispered to Meg that I hadn't heard any sounds other than our footsteps for a while, but she remained silent and continued walking. Turning around, I was struck by the realization that she was no longer beside me, yet I could distinctly hear footsteps directly behind me. Then, in an instant, a malevolent figure materialized. It was a shadowy, nebulous form, with eyes, if one could call them that, gleaming with malevolence. A frigid shiver of terror coursed through me as it loomed in the darkness, whispering incomprehensible words, a language not meant for human ears. Overwhelmed by fear, I sprinted through the forest, my gaze fixed on the faint glimmer of moonlight. In the distance, the forest appeared to warp and shift around me as if it were a living entity. I could feel the presence of the malevolent figure pursuing me, taunting me with unfathomable words, an unrelenting force of darkness. I burst back into the clearing where we had set up camp, my heart pounding and my breath ragged. However, the camp was eerily empty, the fire long extinguished. My friends were gone, and I was left standing alone, surrounded by the oppressive darkness of the forest. Gasping for breath, I heard the chilling laughter of unseen entities, while the forest itself whispered malevolent secrets. In a state of panic and shock, I remained in the abandoned camp, my thoughts in disarray. The darkness closed in from all sides, and the sinister whispers of the forest continued to echo. A profound sense of isolation and despair enveloped me. I waited for what felt like hours, the sun casting long shadows as it began to rise, yet my friends remained absent. It became apparent that I needed to seek help, and the nearest town was my only lifeline. I gathered my remaining belongings and retraced my steps through the darkened woods. Eerie sounds echoed through the forest during my departure, its oppressive ambience clinging to me like a suffocating shroud. I couldn't shake the feeling that something malevolent watched from the shadows, that the forest itself was the personification of evil. With each step, the echoes of shrieks and groans grew fainter, but the chilling presence of the unknown endured. Finally, I emerged from the oppressive forest into the outskirts of the town. My appearance was disheveled, my face etched with exhaustion, and my heart heavy with the weight of the unknown. I knew that I had to report my friends and Toby is missing, enlisting the help of the townspeople and local authorities in unraveling the sinister secrets of the woods. As I entered the town, the atmosphere shifted palpably. The town's residents regarded me with cautious, wary eyes, as if they could sense the darkness that clung to me from the forest. I made my way to the local authorities, my voice trembling, as I recounted the harrowing events of that night, the inexplicable disappearances of my friends, and the ominous entity that had pursued me. The police organized search parties and ventured into the sinister woods. Even they could perceive the unease that pervaded the forest, their expressions betraying the fear that lingered in the air. However, despite their determined efforts, they found very little trace of our group. Days turned into weeks, and the mystery deepened. The police, baffled by my account of the events, could not provide a rational explanation for the disappearances. In the town, whispers began to circulate, suggesting that the forest was cursed. The unease that had taken root within me never truly dissipated, and I couldn't shake the feeling that we had awakened something sinister within the woods. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, I embarked on my own investigation, delving into old maps, uncovering local legends, and consulting experts in the realm of paranormal phenomena. Yet, the more I delved into the history of the forest, the more elusive the answers became. The town's elders, shrouded in a silence born of fear, refused to divulge the forest's secrets. Years passed, but the memories of that fateful night continued to haunt me. The disappearance of Meg, Osmond, Alexa, and Toby remains an unsolved mystery, an enigma that defies explanation. The forest had claimed them, leaving me with a lingering sense of dread that would never truly dissipate. Despite the police's diligent efforts, the cursed woods safeguarded their secrets, and the dark presence within would forever torment my dreams. Yet even now, I still find myself standing on the edge of the forest, and I swear I see my friends in the distance, waving me over, beckoning me to re-enter the forest, and for us to be reunited once again.